Welcome to RPM Bakehouse in the town of Jordan. This place is so sweet. I love everything about it, the concept, the changes, the bread, the baked goods, everything. Here with Monica. Monica, tell us a little bit about a couple of the changes that you've made here at the Bakehouse, and tell us a little bit about the concept.
Yeah, so some new things, some old things if you don't know about it. Basically, we're open from 8 till 4, from Thursday to Monday, which has changed. We're focusing on breakfast items. 11:30 we start our lunch, and it's an all-day lunch. We have an awesome patio that's pet-friendly.
Nice.
You can sit in, you can sit out. So basically what we do is everything's local here.
Yep.
We use a lot of ingredients from our farm.
Yep.
And we focus on breads. We have stone milled breads. We have a lot of pastries. We have a great coffee program. We also have a lot of retail. We have our bottle shop from our winery. We're connected to Restaurant Pearl Morissette,
Yes.
which is just down the street, which is the top destination restaurant in Canada.
We're totally going to showcase that a little bit later on in the show. You know what I think my favorite part about the Bakehouse is that everything is totally sustainable. Now, we were throwing out a couple of terms before. Is it micro-sustainable? What is it?
It's micro-sustainable. I mean,
That's
everything is either grown in Ontario or Canada that we use, so we don't use ingredients that you would kind of typically find
that
at
are
other,
native.
yes, exactly, at other cafes. We don't have cinnamon, we don't have vanilla, we don't use lemons, we don't use limes.
That is shocking to me.
Yeah, so then what we do is we work with farmers who specialize. They grow different herbs, they grow different vegetables that mimic sort of the different flavors of citrus, and we use that in our syrups for coffee.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's just like a huge focus on Canadian food. What does that mean? What is available to us? How can we kind of push the boundaries? How can we go back to supporting native species?
Yeah, like if it's not grown here, we're not serving it. So that's the way. Let's take a quick look at what you're serving over here. What do we have?
Okay, so this is our croissant.
Yep.
We're very proud of our croissant. We do a very intense lamination program here at the Bakehouse. This is a buckwheat financier that has brown butter caramel and hazelnuts.
And what is this delicious looking thing? Because I think I need to have a bite of this one.
It's amazing. That's a black walnut coffee cake with rose.
With rose.
So it's not too sweet. It's a little bit floral. It's nice. Guests really enjoy it in the mornings with their coffees. It just goes perfectly with that. We have this raspberry lavender scone, and it has lavender sugar in it, so that's from our farm. It's just a really beautiful combination. Everything's seasonal, so our menu changes quite often. You kind of never know what to expect.
Yeah, I love that
Which is super exciting because everything's really fresh.
Yeah.
Whether usually in the fall and the winter months we use the preservations that we have, which we also sell here for retail. But everything is in a short time frame, so it's kind of nice to just really jump on that seasonality.
I love that.
It's when the flavors taste the best.
Of course. When you've got cherries, yeah, you only got them for a couple of weeks, but this is the place you need to come and try all of their baked goods, their lunch program. Coming up, we're going to be talking about their coffee, so don't go anywhere. Lots more coming up on Morning Live. Well, we're back at the Bakehouse, and right now we're going to be discussing with Shelby the coffee program. This is such a great space, Shelby.
Thank you.
You guys must have a really good time in here.
We do have a great time in here. Coffee is my passion.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for a really long time.
That's amazing.
So I started in coffee when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And I'm 31 now. So it's a long time to invest yourself into something, and I've learned so much and continue to learn so much all the time. It's what I love about the coffee industry is that it is cutting edge. It's always developing. It's always educating people, and that's what's exciting about our program here.
Okay, tell me a little bit about where you guys get your coffee.
We designed our blends at RPM, so we've got our espresso varietals here. What we offer on espresso is a natural process dual blend, 70% Brazilian and 30% mixed Ethiopian heirloom varietals. And what that does is create a really classic profile that's really approachable, very complimentary to all of our pastries.
I love that. I love how like complicated and complex and cool it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of intention behind everything we do here.
Okay.
From choosing the notes that are going to complement all of our pastries and keep things fresh and exciting, but you know, in third wave, I think the thing now is to go super single varietal and to go really, really kind of explorative. And we wanted to include a little bit of that, but also just keep it approachable and classic and
Yeah, because I mean, like,
complimentary.
I like to say that I'm a coffee snob, but listening to you talk right now, I'm like, there's no way I know anything about coffee at all.
I get that a lot.
Okay, you guys are gonna make us a coffee cocktail. What is it that you're gonna be making us?
Today, I'm going to be making you our seasonal feature,
Okay.
which is basically a double shot of espresso over a bath of sparkling water with a little bit of simple syrup.
Wow.
So the concept is kind of popular. Sometimes
Okay.
it's done with tonic water.
Okay.
I prefer to do the soda. It's a little bit more balanced. It's a little bit more
friendly, I find.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
everybody loves tonic
We
water.
want to wash over the palate in a really friendly way.
And when you say seasonal, so summer?
Summer, absolutely. So this is an iced beverage.
Okay.
Moving into the fall, we're going to be featuring more of our handcrafted syrups. I make them myself,
Oh, that's
and I make them
amazing.
from herbs from our own garden.
Okay,
So
this
just
place
like the
is
bakery.
top notch. I mean, I love the fact that you guys really only use things that are seasonal, micro seasonal.
Absolutely.
Meaning whatever grows in the soil in its natural element is the only time that you guys serve it.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
And that's reflected in all of our programs, from the
Yeah.
bakery to the coffee to the
Love that.
kitchen.
It's
We're just
really
working
neat.
with what's available to us, what's sustainable, and what's delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so you've added the simple syrup. You're adding a little bit of ice before you put in the espresso
a little
shot.
bit, just to cool everything down.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a coffee snob. I am a coffee novice,
That's why we're here,
I guess.
to help you
Help me
enjoy
help
something
myself.
more thoroughly.
Oh my gosh, Shelby, that looks amazing. Okay, coming up, we're going to be actually heading back into chat with some of the bakers here at the Bakehouse. So make sure you stay with us for now. I'm going to turn things back inside the studio. Well, they led us into the back kitchen / bakery, where we are learning a lot about some of the ingredients that they use here at the Bakehouse. I'm here with the chef. His name is Danny. Danny, what are you preparing for us today?
Today we have a currant tart. Currants that come in from our garden, and the crust is made from some cornmeal. It comes from the...
Wow, that looks incredible. Now, I noticed as I was kind of hanging out in the retail area, in the bake shop, where the bread and the croissants, they look a little bit of a different color. Why is that?
Yeah, so a lot of our purveyors grow primarily for nutrition and flavor,
Okay.
which sometimes results in a darker product.
So this is the sourdough that's over here, right?
Correct.
And normally it would be more white.
Yes, yeah.
That's so interesting how they use that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because that's what's healthier for you and that's what people want to see. But when you go into the grocery store and you see, you know, a loaf of bread that's the same but a completely different color, you're thinking, but I love that it's more nutritious.
So do we.
Okay, so what else do you have to offer here in terms of your baked goods and your lunch offerings?
Lunch offering specifically, we aim for sandwiches, simple fare like salads, sometimes soups.
Okay.
And then we do breakfast into lunch service. We're open from 8 a.m. To 4 p.m.
Yeah. And this
Wednesday
is Thursday through
Thursday
Monday,
through
right?
Monday.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those hours have changed. So I know a lot of people that do come here on a regular basis. When their hours change, it's like, wait a minute, this is my favorite bakehouse in Jordan. They've just messed me all up. So that's really important to keep note of. And then what goes on the tart? I know you were kind of busy and I pulled you away from it, but what goes on
Yeah,
this?
so to finish the tart, we've got some meringue that we actually use the wood from the blackcurrant trees.
Oh.
And then a little sprig of currants as well.
Okay, well, do your thing, and we're just gonna kind of watch and enjoy. Okay, so RPM Bakehouse, you can come here Thursday through Monday, the hours throughout the day. Come enjoy a beautiful croissant. They've got tons of baked goods. They've got an incredible coffee program that you can come in. Everything is totally sustainable, micro-sustainable, which means they only use what is in season and what is grown here, not only in Ontario, but across the country. Come and check it out. It is a beautiful experience. We are actually going to be checking out the garden as well, where they grow all of their beautiful food. That's coming up on Morning Live. That looks delicious. Welcome to the garden. This is where the RPM Bakehouse gets all of their fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. Shane, it's harvest season. You guys are busy right now.
It's been harvest season for us since March.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
That's, uniqueness of what we have inside the garden here. And we work a little bit differently in terms of like what we would do from like a regular market garden. And that's because with the restaurants being open 52 weeks out of the year, we're constantly looking at having the availability of beautiful fresh produce year round. And one way to go about doing that is to overwinter veg, which is going to be like our kales, our beets, our carrots, our onions. These are biennials that are that allow us to be able to pick as early in the season as possible, but they go into the ground right now. So when you said talking about the harvest season, right?
Yeah.
So we've been harvesting since
It never stops.
It never stops. It never stops. We're only not in this field 2 months out of the season, and that's because the kind of growing zone. Yeah, Dr. Witch tomatoes.
Those are huge.
Yeah, so those are our beefsteaks. So that's called Dr. Witch. We grow a few different varieties, and the varieties that we do grow for the restaurant we've trialed over many seasons, and that's just because, again, we're not looking at really growing for yield. It's always about flavor. So we're always going to choose the crops that are going to give us the best flavor, even though the yield may not be as great.
Yeah.
And these old heirlooms that would have been around for so many generations, these are the ones that we're looking at growing. Like our lettuces and the cabbages that are happening over there as well too. Those are longer day cabbages.
I can't get over the size of these tomatoes. They're massive.
Yeah, Dr. Witch, and then we're getting into our baby sun golds. So we just went through there. So we just did a harvest, and we harvest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What happens is the restaurant will send me an order, and basically what I'll do is we'll go and we'll pick it. We, inside the garden, because we're connected directly to the restaurant, the garden is an extension of the kitchen, so to speak, right? Think of it like that. So what's going to happen is we'll come into the garden, we're going to pick these tomatoes. The tomatoes never see the fridge. They go over to the bakehouse, and they're on your plate within 6 hours.
That's so cool.
Well, again, if we're looking at developing, or looking at having the chefs have access to the best possible flavored product.
Yeah.
The amount of footsteps or touches that we can take away before the guests can consume that, it's just going to be a better product.
I love that.
It's the best. Well, I mean, my background's a pastry chef, so I'm not a farmer by trade. So this is kind of like why I've been brought into the garden to kind of develop this unique system of us picking vegetables like a la minute, like right away.
And I love that you say with only what's seasonal and only what grows native to Canadian soil.
We do go outside the box in terms of like what's not native, but all the plants that the restaurant's going to use start their life as a seed on this property.
Right.
So we do sesame seeds, we do cumin, we do chickpeas, we do peanuts.
Yeah.
We do all these weird crops that you can't get their hands on, or sort of because it's not local.
Right.
But we take a long time to kind of figure it out because this kind of information's online. It's not online, so we have to kind of figure out how to grow these kind of sesame seeds type thing.
But I love that the bakehouse only uses stuff like within their ingredients that is grown locally across the country.
Yes.
These are the smallest tomatoes I've ever seen. What is going on right now, Shane?
So spoon tomatoes. So this is a new variety for us on the property. I don't know if it'll be something that we grow next year, but it's a new trial for us.
Well, they look super cute.
They are, and so again, if we're speaking about flavor, this tomato that we have inside here, what happens is now we're not looking at having so much water content. It's more concentrated flavor. So it's almost like tomato paste contained inside this
tiny little tomato.
In a tiny little tomato, right?
I love it. Well, thanks so much for having us in the garden, Shane. We know you work your hardest to literally farm fresh, farm to table, garden to table.
Here to there.
Here to there immediately in 6 hours. We've had such a great day here today. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Luke, don't steal too many tomatoes.